person. Devastating blows. Take their fucking, rip their balls off. Boom. Take their eyes out. Their floating rib. It's fucking terrible, man. We have changed so much, but it's gonna change even more. Once, man, martial law, like his brother said, this is a calm before the storm. Nobody's out shopping at the famous ice cream store.
This place, you couldn't walk in that motherfucker without, bumping and knocking over shit. Now I was like laughing, like there's nobody in there. Like,
you couldn't get a damn ice cream.
Yeah.
In time. And they used to serve big scoops too.
Yeah, they're on shit.
It's pretty good, man. It's pretty good. That's what we're saying. It's coming to a halt, man.
Nobody's there. It's like nobody cares. They're just so freaked out because we're seeing things from a different perspective because we have the spirit and we decipher things differently. So by us seeing that, does that mean everybody in the house is scared shitless to come outside or what?
Not yet.
I mean, well, yeah.
Man, but we have to be careful because of what we say. Not oh fucking bitch. Not see that guy started losing control. The first time he came up, he straight up called me a bitch. Remember? He said, "Check this out, bitch." He doesn't know how lucky he is. Well, he's not lucky. He's gonna die. But he doesn't know how lucky he is to be in the presence of the tabernacle. He could have got saved right there. Man, it's a scary thing when you see demons jump in. If I would have seen him, I probably would have been scared to death. But it was like he just stood there and they were just jumping on him. Man, that's just man. Well, let me read this. It says right here. This is Matthew 5. Let's see where is it. All right. It says right here, Matthew 5:34. But I say unto you, swear not at all, neither by heaven, for it is God's throne. And that's the point I was also trying to make. See, if the earth is his footstool, first of all, if Yahweh Shem Yahushai is a proprietor of the whole planet, he can give it to whoever he wants. He gave it to Esau. He can send down the spirit of angels into anybody's body. It just so happens that he sent the spirits of angels into our bodies because we're Israelites. Man, this is gonna go in the books, man. All these people right here, they're nothing out here, but they're somehow they're getting food, they're getting money, they got shit, they got internet, they got things to do, but they don't want to recognize when salvation is on its way. Yeah, Matthew 4:2.
Matthew 4:2, and when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward a-hungered.
And this is coming up, the Day of Atonement, August 27th, Thursday night to August 28th, Friday night. So we're gonna have to fast for 24 hours. That's just 24 hours. Yahushua fasted for 40 days, man. And then the demons, and then the devil started attacking him. When the devil attacks you, he's trying to find out different things. First of all, he tempts you with what you want, because he knows who you are, right? And then he tempts your weakness. He's tempting all these things at the same time, and he's just asking one question. See, now he's gonna blaspheme. Go ahead. This is Satan blasphemy.
When the tempter came to him, he said, "If thou be the Son of the Most High, command that these stones be made bread."
Yep. That's what that devil was saying. Oh, you were an angel? He would have said something crazy. Well, if he would have said, "Save me," I would have said, "Well, we did try to save him. We tried to give him the name. We tried to give him the scriptures, but he didn't want it." See, that's Satan for you. He's just an adversary. come to tempt you, come to mess your mind up. And the thing about that is, he's just a vessel. He was just created for that moment. That dude was just created. Any devil that comes up to you when you're in camp, those devils were created for that moment. He's fulfilled his life's work. His life's work is fulfilled by that. Now he can die.
And then probably just for us to bring out a lesson. Yeah, put a curse on and go into a further lesson to feed the sheep that probably needs to be spoken about.
Okay, check this out. This is perfect. Matthew 5 and 40. Well, I'm gonna start at 42. Give to him that asketh thee, and from him that would borrow of thee, turn not away. So the first guy came up. He asked of us, what are you guys doing? This and that. He humbled down. And then we fixed it. Shook his hand and said, Shalom, peace. He left saying peace. But this other devil straight up came around and he was asking, but he wasn't getting. He wasn't getting anything. And we tried to turn him away, but he wouldn't flee. So let's go back to Matthew 4 and 3. No, you already got 3, right? Let's get 4. Because this is what Yahushua would say.
Matthew 4 and 4.
Yeah, Matthew 4 and 4.
I got it. Matthew 4 and 4. But he answered and said, It is written, Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the Most High.
Okay, so how is the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua gonna come out? It has to come out through the prophets. The prophet has to come up there and say, "Hey man, I gotta bring out this truth." Like Brother Caleb over here, he was sitting in his living room. He was like, "Man, I gotta get out. I gotta get out. I gotta do it." And he did. And I seen that devil come around the corner, and then you were just like, "You're the devil," which at first it was funny to me because that's what I went through. Now I wasn't laughing at him. I was happy for him. He knows what's it about now. He knows what's it about. And I wish the other brother, Amawan Ratsa, would get in on the wagon.
It was funny too because that FOMO dropped his food. He was coming out happy with the fucking
Imagine that.
cheeseburger and shit.
America's so fucking great. Hear the guy there? Oh, that's why he called the cops.
I don't know if he called.
It had to be.
They said several people called the cops. So I was.
Look at. Here's the thing about that. If a cop tells you someone to call the cops, that's a court proceeding. You have the right to face your accuser. So you tell him that I have the right to face my accuser. You need to tell me if you call, and he will tell you. These motherfuckers are joking, man. So, but that was the spirit. But then the next time he went out, a lot calmer. He even got some. He was like, no, that's not scriptural. He even got the scriptures out. But the police, they do know. Because how did they treat a two-thirds? Straight beat his ass. They'll fucking kill a motherfucking two-thirds. But they know. I better not touch this guy. I better not. Something tells me.
Yeah, that's true. That's what actually the brother Yahweh was going into. Like in these times, in these end of times, shit, they're gonna be giving up the info. You know, they're gonna be like, oh shit, we don't want. All right, you know what? They'll say like, you know what? We know you guys are clean, cool. You know, hey, don't be here tomorrow. Yada yada yada. Like it could go down like that too. You know.
It could. It will. Because people are gonna try to. They're gonna see the hard way. Oh man, these guys are talking about the truth. Let's get verse 5.
Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city, and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple.
So how did he take him up into the top of the city? In a chariot. We tried to tell that buffoon over there. that the chariots are UFOs, and he straight up started doing the gangster stuff. What the fuck you talking about? That was one of the things that makes everybody freak out. What do you mean UFOs? What do you mean they're chariots? See, he was hitting all kinds of stumbling blocks. We're angels. Who is Jesus? How old is the letter J? Chariots. He's a demon. That's called a traumatic experience. And you can chalk it up as however you want, but Esau has a 411 on how to break minds down. And Esau be sending me to those trainings. I'm not sitting there trying to learn how to break a person down. I'm looking at it from the preacher's point of view. Like, well, all right, what's this demon talking about? So the devil took him up to the holy city and set him on a pinnacle of the temple. That was in a chariot. He's seen it. He's seen it. But then why did he take him up there? He just took him up there to tempt his ass. This motherfucking devil was like, he's all the way to the top. He's like, look at all this. But really, he's trying to push it with his other hand.
Yeah.
Look at all this. That's how it is. So, if you're ever talking and a dude's got his hands in his pocket, don't ever stop looking at his hands in his pocket.
Yeah.
And it's a good idea to have your both hands on your scripture. That way, if he has a knife, you can use the book to block the knife. Hey, you can always get another Bible. We can't get another Caleb or another Amawan or another Kwak. Okay, so we have to be careful. But here's the thing. Even though we have to be careful, we don't necessarily have to take action because the Lord's going to do it. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, show them that you're alert, that you know what's going to happen. Look, okay, man, I'm not messing with you, man. At least they'll respect you. You see how the first guy that he was like, you were down for years. You were down for years. He said I was like Peter.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that's what it's got to be. But let's keep going over here. And verse 8. No. Verse 6.
Matthew verse 4 and 6, and saith unto him, If thou be the Son of the Most High, cast thyself down, for it is written, He shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone.
Man. So we're protected. We got that insurance on us. So we don't have to really worry, but we can't be not paying attention to the situation. You know, you can't have your head like this, and then the situation's right here. You keep it like this. Because all it takes is a little turn to the side. It's dangerous. And I understand why people don't want to go out. It is dangerous. But you gotta have balls, man. You gotta have balls because the Lord, Shai, he's a warrior. He's a man's man. We're his roosters. He's taking care of us so that he can watch us put up a fight. It is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy power. You can't be like, well, if I'm really a man of the Lord, you know, Yahushua will do this for me. That's that demon spirit, man. You have to ask, you have to beg for whatever you want, and then go out and work for it. See? So that was pretty much my lesson. I mean, it got interrupted with that guy, but it still came out. So, you want to go into yours? Let me just get this in Matthew 10. Because it's no sweat, man. It's no sweat to do the work. If you
Can't face this one.
you can move over here. Move into the middle. So let's see how can we get switch. Let me find it. Still in there? You want to switch the other way? Okay, you move this over here, and I'll move the camera over here. Or just move it this way, right? Move it this way, and then we'll put the camera this way. Put that thing over there, and then I'll put the camera over here. There you go. There you go. Pretty good. So let me just get this real quick on that. 10, 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves.
So that's what I got is scriptures on being wise.
Is that really?
Yep. Yeah, that was my lesson is, being wise. So the first scripture, Ecclesiastes 7:1.
This is Ecclesiastes 7:1. A good name is better than a precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of one's birth.
So a good name is better than a precious ointment. So it doesn't matter, what you smell like. It matters about your reputation. You want to build up your name. So if there's an opportunity for you to come and do the work, that's what you want to do. Whether what condition you're in. If you're dirty, you got to try to find a way to freshen up real quick, and then do the Lord's work.
Yeah, I remember when I used to come out here in shorts, and then the heart was like, no more shorts, or no shorts. I was like, all right.
Makes sense,
Yeah.
This is Ecclesiastes 7:1. A good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of one's birth. Ooh, let me just say this first. Don't be celebrating your fucking birthday. Let me read that again. A good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of one's birth.
So right there it's saying that it's better to die than better to being born, So why is everyone always crying over somebody who's dying,
Yeah, and the spiritual part about that situation is we showed those people what we're about. We ain't scared. We gotta die. I bet you they respect us now more.
Yeah, because when you die, that's a good thing because we're in this body called chains of darkness,
All sick and shit.
Yeah.
Shit, my side here, right here. I don't know why, but I have to drink water when it stops and it goes away. And I have a big old I have glaucoma. Sometimes I wake up in the night and there's big old white circles in my eye and I can't see out of it. So I have to anoint myself with coconut oil. Rub it all over my face and go. See, we're in chains of darkness.
I even heard some people, they have a lung condition to where they can't even take hot showers,
A hot shower feels good.
You gotta take cold showers just because you can't breathe.
I like to do both. I like to get a hot one and mix it up.
That's
hot
actually good for you.
yeah.
That's pretty healthy for you because it makes your blood cells expand and your arteries expand and contract. It's like working them out. That's actually good for you.
The water's not supposed to be too hot because it could mess
Block
up your
pores.
skin.
It'll burn your pores and it'll block them too. Because then all the water would run in there and get waterlogged. Tell me a hot shower doesn't look like a cold ass man. You get home from work. I stay like 20 minutes.
No, it's hard to get out. You know?
But this word is like a hot shower, man. Cleans you right up. Makes you feel nice and good. Let me get the next one too. Oh, this was perfect. Verse 2. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting, for that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart.
That was verse 2. Yes, sir. See, so it said it's better to mourn than to feast.
Yes. Better to mourn.
So if someone dies, you know, what we want to do is we want to mourn over them, you know, instead of going somewhere out and you know, having a party or something, you know.
Like going to someone's birthday party. So basically you should go to someone's funeral instead of their birthday party. But but the thing is, we're mourning. We're still mourning. We're mourning our captivities. We're mourning the loss of our heritage, of our identity. We're mourning the loss of Yahushua Mashiach. Was worldwide waiting about that. Look at the King of Kings. Got put up on the. Well, let me just get Revelation 1. Let me just prove what I'm saying. Because it's all clear now. This is Revelation 1 and 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him. And all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so be true. So even the Romans pierced him, they're going to see that. So we're mourning that. We're mourning the death of the Messiah, but we're going to rejoice when he comes back and delivers us.
I got a scripture. Universal wisdom. Proverbs 3:13. Proverbs 3:13. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that gaineth understanding. Verse 14. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. Verse 15. She is more precious than rubies, and all things thou canst desire are not to be compared unto her. 16, verse 16. The length of days in her right hand, and in her left hand riches and honor. Verse 17. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. Verse 18. She is a tree of life to them that lay hold upon her, and happy is everyone that retaineth her. So I mean, it's evident, you know, like, you know, we have to chase the bag sometimes in this wicked system, but then we can't ever really forget what the calling is, because all this crap is not going to really mean much. Sometimes I get, you know, just sometimes I do get enthralled with wanting to gain more possessions, but at the same time I'm not attached to them, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like we gotta learn, you know, and that's part of the wisdom. And
Balance. So let me read Ecclesiastes 72. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. For that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart.
So we gotta put our mind about death. You know, we gotta always keep thinking about death and be prepared for death. You know, because what if that happens, you know, to us?
Let me get this scripture. This is Job 5 and 2. For wrath killeth the foolish man, and envy slayeth the silly one. So that dude was silly, and that's what's going to slay him. Not because I wanted him to die. I actually wanted him to stop so I could teach him something. But he never did. So let me read that again. For wrath killeth the foolish man. That's why we got to be patient. You can get in the wrathful spirit. You can get in a peaceful spirit. And envy slayeth the silly one. That's right, man. And that's why those cops don't trip on us. Because they know. Shouldn't be messing with these guys.
Keep going on verse 3.
Which one?
Ecclesiastes
7. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance the heart is made better.
So it's like sorrow is better than laughter. So it's better to be sad than to be happy. You know, so people always looking out to be happy, you know. They always want to satisfy their feelings. But when you're sad, that's when, Salaki, when you're happy, that's when you're most vulnerable to attack. But when you're sad, that's when you're more alert, you know. You're more alert on your surroundings, you know.
You're less willing to put up with fuck shit, you know.
Like the king Nebuchadnezzar or Shalmaneser from Babylon, what were they doing? They were having a big old feast, and then the writing came on the wall, and that was the end of Babylon.
Right.
Straight up, like that. Darius was like, we're taking this motherfucker out. There's some parties to fucking do.
Yeah.
Straight up, man. Darius was like, you know what, one of these fucking days I'm gonna get this motherfucker. Guess what? It happened like, the Lord was like, this day, this fool's gonna fucking party his ass off. Like he always does. This is your turn. No war happened, bro. He just... Because he was all drunk. Party.
Easy kill, you know.
Oh, that's for real. We played Black Ops, easy kills.
Yeah.
Free kill or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
When you just touch him once and he dies. That was it.
Too, like they give examples like if you've seen Friday the 13th, there's always somebody who's laughing or trying
Yeah,
to
that's not real.
trying to play around, and then they get killed. You know?
Mostly a woman. Most likely a woman.
Yeah.
Report.
Keep going. Read that again.
This is Ecclesiastes 7:3. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance the heart is made better.
So, right there it said for sadness. So sadness is like an influence on us, you know, because sadness it'll cleanse you, you know, it'll clean you of your of your impurities.
Sure will.
Because another word for that is refining, and refining is remove impurities or unwanted elements, typically as part of an industrial process. So it's purify, clarify, clear, cleanse, treat, and this is all the things that you do when you be sad, because you're cleaning yourself, you know. But when you're happy, you're just allowing any spirits to come inside your mind.
Check that out, man.
Like that demon.
Check that out, man. 'Cause that's how it is. Because when you're sad, what are you thinking about when you're sad? Man, I got to get over this, I got to do this, I got to... You start fixing yourself.
Yeah.
Like, let's make it real simple. Let's say you get dumped by a girl, she said, and you tell her, what's wrong, baby? You don't ever brush your teeth after you leave. So you're sad, and then you start thinking, well, I'm gonna start brushing my teeth after I'm done eating, so these bitches will like me. And then the bitches will start liking me. But that's not a good example, but it's an easy one to explain. Now, the harder example would be like, you gotta stop being wicked, you gotta stop doing this, and then the Lord will love you. That's why it's so hard for you to come out to the camp. It's hard, man. It's hard to come out to the camp every week.
It's hard to come out when your spirit's not right, you know? Like, when you have to put off the old man, it's really hard.
Because I already said it before, and I'll say it again. I don't even answer my woman. My kids are there. I have 3 children and a woman. I just grab my stuff and all I forgot.
Yeah. And that's a good thing. When you start getting into this, explaining and all this, man, you're losing.
I'm not Ricky Ricardo. I don't got no explaining to do.
Yeah.
Well, just imagine. The Lord comes at you. Or the Lord comes right now. He's going to find work. He's going to find a lot of people working. He's right. He's going to find gals working. He's probably going to find a call working. he's gonna find probably Mississippi. Everybody that goes out on Friday, he's gonna find us working. Even if the brothers go out on Saturday, he's gonna find us working. But what are you gonna do if it comes and we're working and you're at home watching videos or putting videos up that you can watch on a chat platform? It's hard to explain, man, that you need to get out here.
And it's like when you're not doing this, like what are you doing? You know?
Exactly.
It's more like what are you doing? You're laying, and especially if you don't have a woman. But even if you had a woman, it's like if you're not here, then you would just be fighting with her. You would just be annoying each other, or you would just be fucking a total simp, you know? Yeah.
That's probably the worst.
Yeah.
And let me just tell you, if you find balance, the balance is just this. This is number one. Everything else is manageable. Because when the cop came, I was like, fuck. I gotta go take care of this shit right now.
Hey, like
That's Satan right there.
one of the brothers from GMS LA, he said, "This truth is the best thing going." And it is true. Honestly, it is the best thing going because what else you got going? What else is there going? There ain't shit going on. And what's the next thing going? That what we just came out of? What, being at the park, spun out on meth, or on huffing paint, or what else is the next thing going? Well, if you're not a spiritual person and everything, then that means you're in the world. Well, guess what? Now the world has been closed down. So now what are you doing? You're fucking losing your fucking brains. And it was a beautiful sight to see the other day. My baby mama starting humbling down because she's starting to see things manifest for me that she didn't think I was gonna attain. But now you should see all the now I attain a level of respect from her. But guess what? She said every time I see her, she looks like stir fried shit, you know, because all
reminded her of that too.
Yeah, and it's because all the wickedness she's done is catching up to her. All the men that went into her, you know, they start to look old. They start to look all fucked up. That youthful pride, that youthful state that they used to be in.
That is
trying to go away.
Because they're beautiful in the beginning.
Yeah, they get washed up.
They get washed up real quick. You have two kids, you have one kid. Your uterus is staying out.
Yeah.
You're peeing on your fucking belly. Man, we were having a meeting on Zoom, and this fucking bitch took the computer into the bathroom and took the fucking shit. He didn't give a fuck.
Worker?
Yeah, a worker. A teacher, a so-called teacher. These people are forgetting their place.
And that's bugged out shit. Like,
that's sexual harassment.
yeah, that's like she's gonna get called out for that.
Yeah, it's fine. So it wouldn't surprise me if they let her slide.